What is up, guys, and welcome to the most unexpected transfer team of this season. So this is the confirmed transfer, and this is sort of the transfer that just came out of nowhere, kind of surprised me, or I didn't just expect it at all. So everyone's opinion could be different, but this is just one of my opinions. So we're gonna get straight into the squad, and then the first player who was really unexpected, who I thought this transfer would just not happen, is first play. We're going to start off with Pelle, not the old one, this one, the Graziano Pelle. He in my opinion, he did decent for Italy in the Euro, so I was expecting him to move. He was connected with clubs like Chelsea or other EPL clubs, some of the Serie A clubs, so I thought he was going to go there. Next minute, he just goes to SD Lunen. It's one of the Chinese Super League teams. I genuinely didn't expect it. Like, he's not even that old, so I thought he was just gonna, actually he's kind of old, but he's not that old. Like, he's early in the 30s, so I didn't think he would go to China already, but there he is. And then, well, it was kind of unexpected for me. And then we're gonna move on to the next striker, who is gonna be Negredo. Now this guy, obviously I remember him from when he used to play for, obviously, Manchester City back in a few seasons ago, and in my opinion he wasn't the best, but he did his job, kind of. Like, he scored a few goals in the Champions League, in the league as well. And then to be honest, I have no idea how he did in Valencia, but he must have done not too well. I mean, I'm not trying to like offend Middlesbrough fans, but now he's ended up at Middlesbrough because I don't know, it's just a club that I don't think because Middlesbrough is just like a promoted team, and I would never expect someone like Negredo going to those kind of clubs. Once again, I'm not trying to offend Middlesbrough fans. And then we're going to move on to the left midfielder, and I think, in my opinion, that Gaitan was a pretty good transfer. Like, it's a good transfer, but it was a transfer that I just didn't expect it would happen. Obviously, Gaitan being, how does the, oh yeah, I just realized that FIFA 16 update. Anyway, Gaitan, I just didn't think he would expect, because I thought he would stay at Benfica for more, because I know he's always been connected with a lot of clubs in past transfer markets, and he just never went. Atletico Madrid was one of the clubs that I just think that he wouldn't go, and then now he's ended up there. And then we're going to move on to the right midfielder, and I'm pretty sure that this one has kind of shocked a lot of you guys, unless, well, you guys keep a nice track of what is happening all the time. It is Hoke, and then now he has ended up at another Chinese Super League team, is SIPG. I don't know if I said it right, but that is another quality player gone to Chinese league. And once again, Hoke, I was really hoping him to, come to more like the bigger leagues, because in his career he's only played at the smaller leagues. Like, he used to play at FC Porto, Zenit. I mean, they're not bad clubs, but they're not the biggest clubs. I was hoping him to see an EPL someday, but now he's gone to China for a lot of price, by the way, as well. And then, well, that's another player gone that just came out of nowhere. I just woke up one morning and then Hulk is gone to China. See you later. And then we're going to move on to the midfielders, and the first one is going to be, once again, a little bit controversial, is Gotze. And who would have known that he would go back to Dortmund? He's a left midfielder. Who would have known that he would go back to Dortmund when he first went to Bayern? So many Dortmund fans gave hate to Gotze when he first went to Bayern, and now he's back at Dortmund. I knew that Gotze would leave Bayern this season, this transfer market, but I thought it would be some of the EPL clubs. Like, I thought Liverpool would try to sign him, or he might just stay at Bayern. But Dortmund, when I first heard about the news, I was like, no, this can't be happening. And then it just happened somehow. So I guess Gotze is now playing for Dortmund again. That is pretty crazy. And then we're going to move on to the next player. Another player that happened, and this one I think is a very, very good signing, is N'Golo Kante to Chelsea. Chelsea fans should be very, very pleased about this transfer, because I think this is an amazing transfer for Chelsea. Kante is such an amazing player. But I thought he would go to some other clubs like Arsenal or PSG. Obviously, his news was kind of like, it was all over the place a few days ago before it went official. But at the start of the transfer market, I just thought this kind of transfer wouldn't happen. And then we're going to move on to the fullbacks, and the first one being, now this one is a small transfer as well, so no one might really know it happened, or no one might not just give a crap, which is, well, it's just up to you. But Barber, who used to play for Chelsea, a little bit disappointing for Chelsea, I'm not going to lie there, has now ended up at Schalke now. This one I didn't really expect as well. I think he would stay in Chelsea, because obviously in case something happens to Azpilicueta or Azpilicueta moves on to the right back, Chelsea do need a left back, and I thought Barber would be there because he didn't play too bad last season, but now he's at Schalke, and then hopefully he gains some more experience and come back Chelsea more stronger. And then we're going to move on to the right back, and this one is going to be Dani Alves. Now this one, some people may disagree because some people already knew that Dani Alves was going to go somewhere this transfer market before the last season ended, but now he's now up at Juventus. For Juventus, a very nice signing. Someone experienced, someone who won the Champions League a lot, like Dani Alves is someone who Juventus really need, and they're just strengthening their squad even more. And then we're going to move on to the two centre backs, and the first one is going to be Mats Hummels, because once again this is the transfer that went to Dortmund. I mean Bayern from Dortmund, and then this transfer is once again interesting, I just gotta say that. But at least Hummels got a good reason, like his family lives there. He used to play for Bayern back in the days, and then his dad works for Bayern apparently, so I guess that's a decent reason. But still, Dortmund fans wouldn't really be happy, the captain leaving to the probably the most rival club. Maybe not, because Schalke is a rival, but someone like Hummels they would trust would go to Bayern. They wouldn't really want that, would they? And then we're going to move on to the next centre back, who I think is going to be, this is not a big transfer, but I think it's a good transfer though, not a big one but a good one, is Bailey moving to Manchester United. Now a lot of people didn't expect this a lot, once again saying this, but I think it's a good transfer for Man United. Obviously a young player, he's doing really well in the preseason as well. And then a lot of people were like expecting Manchester United to sign big players, like Zlatan was connected at the time before Bailey was signed, and then someone like Pogba, Neymar was connected with United, and then the first signing was Bailey, which I think it's a good move for Mourinho. Now they have signed a lot of quality players such as Mkhitaryan and stuff. But the next player who's going to be in the goalkeeper position is going to be Stevie Mandanda, or Steve Mandanda. I just like to call him Stevie because why not? And then he's gone to Crystal Palace. And considering that this player did really well in League One last season, I wouldn't expect him to go to Crystal Palace. Now obviously in Crystal Palace's point of view, a very good transfer, a quality goalkeeper signed for them. But for Mandanda, I thought he would go to some of the bigger clubs, someone like, I don't know, maybe Southampton or something, La Liga squad. Probably not Crystal Palace, was very unexpected for me. And then we're going to move on to the next player, and I think this is going to be I'm going to be talking about another goalkeeper. It is going to be Zilla. Now this one I just had absolutely no idea, no clue. It was one of the first transfer that was actually made. It happened at near the start of the transfer market, and then I was wondering why would Leicester try to sign a goalkeeper. But right now, I think it's a good transfer, someone who's experienced in the German league. I think Leicester really needs them as well, so I don't think it's a bad transfer, but pretty unexpected for me. And then we're gonna move on to the next player, and then it is gonna be Joe Allen. Now once again, the player that a lot of people already predicted that he might go somewhere, but I don't think he'll go to Stoke though, because he did really well in the Euros. I watched him play and it looks like he was getting back in form, and then he just goes to Stoke. He was once connected with Manchester United, which I just think it would happen anyway, but Stoke was a little bit unexpected. And then we're going to move on to the next player, who is going to be Sofiane Feghouli. And from West Ham's point of view, a very nice transfer. Once again, I'm saying that a lot of times because it just is. And then once again, free transfer, good transfer, just no one would expect really. And then we're going to move on to the final player of today's video. It is going to be Victor Valdes, now going to Middlesbrough once again. No offense, Middlesbrough fans, but this a player that used to play for Barcelona, Manchester United. Obviously he stayed in the bench in the Manchester United, but he has experienced so much success for Spain and Barcelona. You don't really expect him to end up at Middlesbrough. Like, his ACL injury just killed his career, not gonna lie there. Anyway guys, this is gonna be end of today's video. If you have enjoyed it, please hit the like button, subscribe, and goodbye.